The distant hum of street lights buzzed overhead as your shoes tapped softly against the cracked pavement of the quiet alley. The sky had long turned navy littered with faded stars half hidden by city smog. You were still in your school uniform, the blazer slightly wrinkled, socks loosened from the day's rush, and your hair pulled into a lazy ponytail after hours of laughter with your best friend Janhi. Your phone was pressed to your ear as you turned a corner entering a narrow passageway you used hundreds of times before. Your mother's voice spluttered through the speaker, tinted with concern. Ryan, it's late. Why didn't you just stay at Junhee's house tonight? Your mom Mina asked. You could hear clattering in the background, probably her washing dishes while talking to you. You adjusted your bag and laughed lightly, trying to sound casual. Oh ma, come on, it's not that late. I have walked this way home like forever. I'll be there in 10 minutes, promise. But it's dark, and you know how I feel about those alleys. What if anything happens, I'll scream so loud the ghost will run away. You joke, trying to ease her worry. I'm fine, seriously. She sighed heavily. Alright, just call me once you are near home. And don't take that shortcut near the old bookstore. Got it. Love you. Love you too, baby. The call ended and silence folded around you like a thick blanket. No crickets, no wind, just the faint flicker of a faulty street lamp above you and the smell of damp concrete lingering in the air. You tucked your phone away, glancing around. The alley stretched ahead, long and shadowed, lined with broken fences and graffiti painted walls. A shiver danced down your spine, but you brushed it off. You were 16, brave, or at least you wanted to be. You tightened your grip on the strap of your bag and picked up your pace until it happened. A sharp sting, like the prick of a bee but deeper burning, pierced the side of your neck. Ah! Your hand flew up instinctively to touch the spot, but your legs buckled under you almost instantly. The world blurred, the walls twisted. Your body felt heavy, like someone had tied invisible ropes around your limbs and began dragging you underwater. Your heart started to pound, a distant thud in your ears. What the? You gasped, blinking rapidly. The alley spun like a carousel on fire. You tried to take a step back, but the ground tilted and your knees hit the cold pavement. Your fingers scrubbed against gravel. Your vision dimmed. You could hear footsteps, slow, deliberate, approaching from behind. You couldn't see anything, just the outline of shadows swallowing each other. No, someone help. You tried to scream, but your voice slurred like you were underwater. Your mouth moved, but barely any sound escaped. Everything was muffled. The sound of your own heartbeat faded. The last thing you saw, just before the world turned completely black, was a gloved hand reaching towards you. And then darkness, complete. You stirred awake to the sound of muffled cries. Your head pounded, vision blurry, as you slowly blinked the world into focus. The floor beneath you was cold, rough, cement, damp in places. You realized you were still wearing your school uniform. A dull ache throbbed at the side of your neck, right where you had felt that sting before everything went black. Where am I? Your voice come out cracked, barely a whisper. You pushed yourself up with trembling legs, your eyes darting around the room. The walls were bare concrete, stained with time and darkness. A single flickering light bulb hung from the ceiling, casting eerie shadows across the room. And then you saw them, girls, dozens of them. Some of your age, some older, and some heartbreakingly young. Most sat huddled in corners, eyes wide with terror. A few whispered to each other, others silently cried. You stood up, stumbling a little, and clutched your arms around yourself as fear crept into your bones. My phone, you muttered, patting your pockets. My bag, where's my bag? Gone. Panic began to claw at your chest. Oma, you called out, voice raising with desperation. Oma, can you hear me? No response, just the quiet sniffles of frightened girls. Suddenly, the heavy metal door creaked open. You froze. A man stepped inside, graying hair, expensive coat, his presence commanding and terrifying. Two men in black followed him, each carrying a stack of food trays. He didn't look at anyone in particular. He just smiled, the kind of smile that doesn't reach the eyes, the kind that makes your blood run cold. One of the girls near the front, her voice trembling, stood up shakily and asked, "Why are you keeping us here? What do you want from us?" The man chuckled darkly, his eyes scanning the room like a predator seizing a prey. "I own this place," he said smoothly. His tone was calm in a way that made it worse. "You are all here because you were chosen, special and valuable people out there." He waved a hand vaguely. "Rich, powerful ones, they pay well for girls like you." A hush fell over the room. You felt your knees give out as you dropped to the floor, hands clutching your uniform skirt tightly. "No, no, no," you repeated, shaking your head violently. "This can't be happening." "This is a mistake. I'm just a student. I was just going home. I was just." Your voice cracked mid sentence. "Oma," you whimpered, tears rolling down your cheeks as you buried your face in your hands. "Please come and get me, please." The man's voice echoed behind the sobs of others. "Eat your food, you'll need the strength. We begin tomorrow." You didn't understand what he meant. You didn't want to. Your body shook as you pulled yourself into a corner, tucking your knees into your chest, trying to make yourself smaller, invisible, forgotten. The plate of food placed in front of you remained untouched. Everything felt like a nightmare, a dark, twisted version of your reality. Just hours ago, you had been laughing with Junhei, joking about homework and snacks and weekend plans. Now your world has shattered into something unrecognizable. That night you didn't sleep, none of you did. All you could do was pray someone would come, that someone still knew you were missing, that someone still loved you enough. You could smell rust and mold in the air, that metallic mix of blood, sweat, and filth clinging to your lungs. It had been 2 days since they locked all of you in that basement. 2 days of no light, 2 days of silent sobbing, 2 days of peeling walls, rats crawling over bare feet, and that one flickering light bulb swinging from the ceiling, buzzing like it was counting down your life. You were still in your school uniform. The white shirt is now yellowed with grime. Your skirt had a rip across the side. You tied your sweater or blazer around your waist to cover your legs. It didn't matter. You knew they saw through it. No one told you what day it was. No one said your name. They only showed food through a flap in the iron door. Cold rice, sometimes nothing at all. You sat against the farthest wall, arms wrapped around your knees, watching a group of older girls whispering by the stairs. Everyone was afraid, but no one said it. It was heavy in the air, so heavy you felt like it was pressing on your ribs, on your chest, on your thoughts. Then the silence broke. Footsteps. The cracking sound of the heavy lock twisting echoed louder than a scream. Every girl in the room jerked to attention. You could hear the scuffle of sandals. Someone whimpered, and then the door slammed open. He entered, Min Seok-ho. Tall, immaculately dressed, his crisp navy blazer is untouched by dust. His shoes didn't even have a scratch. His face was blank, jaw tight. jaw-tight expression unreadable, but it was his eyes that made your heart stop. Empty, cold, practiced. Behind him, five guards stepped inside, men in black, built like bulls. They carried tasers, ropes, batons. Not a single one looked kind. You had your rest, it's time. He said, his tone was flat as if reading instructions. No one moved, not out of defiance but out of sheer fear. Goal 1 said, who was sitting near the wall, her voice trembling. Where are you taking us? Sioko didn't answer. He motioned with two fingers. One of the guards marched forward and grabbed the girl by the hair. She screamed, no, let go of me. Slap. Her face twisted with the force. She dropped to her knees, coughing. Shut the F up, he said, growling. Your hand flew to your mouth. Your heart felt like it had dropped to your stomach. You wanted to help, you wanted to scream, but you couldn't even move your legs. This isn't real, this isn't real, you whispered to yourself. The other girls began backing away, but it was no use. The guards spread out, grabbing, yanking, slapping, shoving. One by one, they dragged everyone towards the door. Please, I'm just a college student. My parents will pay anything, anything. Please don't do this, she said, sobbing. They won't pay. They already think you're dead, he said calmly. That shut her up. One of the guards kicked open the back door. The daylight that poured in was blinding after 2 days of darkness, and then you saw it, the truck. A steel monster, large, caged in the black bag, bolted from the outside. It inside was barely visible through the grates. You could hear someone crying inside, girls already taken, already packed like luggage. Your knees buckled, a guard pointed at you. Little one, move. You didn't. Your body refused until he walked over and grabbed your arms so tightly it felt like your skin might tear. You screamed, no, please, please don't take me. I didn't do anything. I'm only 16. That guard laughed bitterly. Then you'll sell for double. You kicked, fought, scratched at his wrist. But the other girls had tried that too, and all it got them were bruises. You were no different, Sioko said to the guards. If they resist, slap them. If they scream, gag them. We don't have time. Crack. Your head whipped to the side. The taste of blood filled your mouth. Your cheek burned like fire. Your body stopped fighting. He shoved you towards the truck. You stumbled forward, tears falling freely now, mixing with the dirt on your face. No one helped. Everyone was trying to survive. As you reached the truck, a metal step stabbed into your shin. You fell forward onto the rusted floor. A girl inside caught your arm, helped you sit up. You looked around. All the girls are already inside. Their eyes are wide, red, hollow. Some are clutching their knees, some staring straight ahead like they had already left their bodies behind. Don't fight, don't talk, just breathe. It's the only thing we can do right now, she said softly, whispering. You nodded, but your heart wouldn't stop racing. One by one, more girls were loaded in. Some unconscious, some gagged. When the last one was inside, the guard locked the door with a steel bar. You felt the entire truck rattle. The engine started. Sioko's voice could still be heard through the thin slits of air. Take them to port 7. They will be sorted by nightfall. I'm falling behind, he said to his men. And the small ones, the guard said, laughing quietly. They will sell well. Clean all up first, he said without emotion, and then darkness. As the truck began to move, you sat there with your back against the cage wall, staring at the locked doors. And for the first time in your 16 years of life, you stopped hoping anyone was coming for you, because in that moment you knew you had already been sold. The truck rattled down the desolate road, its tires groaning against the gravel as if even the earth was protesting what it carried. It was the dead of night. The moon hung low behind thick, shifting clouds, and both sides of the road were swallowed by a dense black forest. Shadows stretched like claws across the pavement, and silence regained except for the occasional murmur of terrified coal huddled together inside the cage truck. You hadn't spoken in hours, curled in the corner, knees to your chest, your fingers pressed tightly against your ears, trying to drown out the panic. You rocked slightly, backed and forth, whispering the same thing over and over to yourself like a broken prayer. It's just a nightmare. I'll wake up. I'll wake up. Amma's gonna come, you said, muttering under your breath. But she never did. No one ever did, until screech. The truck jolted violently. A shriek of metal rang in your ear as the brakes screamed and the entire vehicle came to a halt. Girls cried out. Some fell. You held your breath, heart punching your chest, your fingers tightening around your ears. The driver cursed loud enough for you to hear him from the front cabin. What the hell? Who the F? Then came another voice, deeper, angry. Min Seok-ho. You didn't need to see him to know he was fuming. You felt it in your bones. The back doors remained locked, but the truck suddenly felt suffocating. Tension seeped in through the cracks like poisonous gas. Outside the night was no longer silent. There was engines running. Three black cars were parked in the middle of the road, blocking the truck completely. Their headlights cast long beams through the mist, illuminating the fog like a battlefield, and behind the truck a fourth car had pulled up. Seok-ho stepped out, spitting curses under his breath, rage pulsing in every stomp. F bastard, only one man would dare to show his face like this, he said, growling. Hey, little one, it's okay now. You can come out, he said softly. He stepped inside the truck carefully, avoiding sudden movements. The other girls had gone quiet. Hey, little one, we are here to help, Minho said, kneeling near you. But you couldn't hear him, or maybe you refused to believe it. The minute you felt someone close, your eyes snapped open and you screamed, scrambling backwards against the wall, kicking frantically. You panicked. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. I won't go with you. No, no, please. Your voice cracked, your body curled tighter. You were too far gone in fear. Minho's face dropped. He slowly raised both hands in surrender. I'm not here to hurt you, okay? My name is Minho. I'm with the people who stopped them. He said calmly. You didn't listen. You couldn't. Everyone had lied to you already. Everyone who said you are safe, you will be fine, they all ended up dragging you to hell. Minho sighed. He looked outside the truck, then at you. The other girls were already inside the cars. Jungkook's voice crackled through Minho's earpiece. Did you get them all? He said on calm. All but one. He looked at you one last time, still trembling, still tucked into the corner like a broken bird. Damn it, she thinks I'm one of them, he said to himself quietly. He stood up, turned towards the guard beside the SUVs. Drive the others straight to the backup mansion. Keep two guards with them. Don't stop till you are inside the gates, he said firmly. What about her? Minho paused, then looked back at you, still trembling, still silent. She's different, he said quietly, and without another word he jumped out of the truck and shut the doors behind him. The engines roared to life. The cars disappeared into the night, carrying everyone to safety. Everyone, except you. Still sitting in the same spot, still waiting for someone you could believe in. The air was heavy with tension, the smell of gunpowder and forest earth mixed in the night, and the sound of the nearby river echoed softly in the distance. The headlights of the three sleek black cars glared through the fog, illuminating the dented old truck in the center of the dirt road. The girls had been rescued, chaos had erupted, men were bleeding, but amidst it all, inside the damn, suffocating truck, there you were, 16, frightened, knees pressed to your chest, curled into the farthest corner like a wounded deer. The blanket of your silence was thicker than the screams outside, your fingers stuffed in your ears as you tried to disappear into yourself. Jungkook had just finished taking down the last of the armed men. His black shirt was stained with dirt and blood, none of it his. His jaw was tense, posture sharp, the veins in his arms still prominent from the force he used moments ago. But then Minho tapped his shoulder, pointing at the back of the truck with a puzzled look. One girl is still inside. She is not responding. Jungkook's brow furrowed. His steps were soundless as he climbed in, boots pressing against the creaking metal floor. But he didn't approach it yet. He watched the truck. The trembling soul inside it curled up in a corner. As soon as his eyes landed on your shivering figure, something inside him shifted, like the ground underneath had cracked, and for the first time in a long time his heart moved. He walked slowly towards you and crouched slowly in front of you, towering himself to your level, his breath soft and steady. The moment your trembling frame registered his presence, your body flinched hard, scooting further back until there was nowhere left to run. Hey, relax, he whispered gently, his voice deep, husky, but tender cut through the veil of panic in your mind. You are safe now. I'm not going to hurt you, okay? No one is going to hurt you. His words, laced with something oddly soothing, reached your ears despite your attempts to block everything out. You hesitantly removed your hands just a little and looked up, and then why he couldn't look away, why his chest felt tight, why his hands trembled with the overwhelming urge to protect. But he knew this was different. This wasn't pity, this wasn't guilt. This was something else. You're okay now, he whispered again, softer this time. He slowly extended his hand and tucked a stray strand of hair behind your ear with surprising delicacy. Behind him, Minho scoffed in just a sip. You have been strong for too long. Carefully, he tilted the bottle, helping you drink. He smiled just a little when you started drinking water by his hand. After that, he placed the bottle on the ground and unfolded the blanket. Then he wrapped the soft blanket over your shoulders, wrapping it around you like armor. Warm enough? He asked, voice barely audible. You didn't speak, but the trembling slowed.